Welcome to Life Insurance Medical Exams. My name is Glenn Cook and I'm the term guy. In this video, we're going to look at the different levels of policy types based upon the level of underwriting. And I'm also going to show you how to complete a medical exam to your benefit to get you the best insurance coverage with the most benefits and features at the cheapest possible price over the next 10, 20, or 30 years. Now, just before we do that, I want to kind of reset our thinking on a few things. The first one is the term no medical exam. A lot of consumers will see no medical exam versus medical exam, but the term no medical exam has been so overused in the insurance industry that it really is meaningless. The words no medical exam I've seen applied to policies that really have very limited underwriting, right through to policies that I would call fully medical exam policies. So you can't trust the words no medical exam to mean anything anymore. Secondly, when we're looking at underwriters, the people at the insurance companies who review our medical information, keep in mind, they're not looking to deny you coverage or charge you higher premiums. They're looking to actually do the opposite. They're sitting in their desk, looking at your file, doing all the work, and they want to sell you the life insurance, and they're going to give you the best premiums that they can. They're going to evaluate stuff, and they're not going to take risk and say, we're going to put this on you and charge you for it. What they're trying to do is take a risk factor and evaluate it and wrap it up and say it's not actually a risk factor, and they need data or information to do that. So underwriters are looking to get rid of risk when they're evaluating your policy, not keep it in there and charge you. Therefore, it's to your benefit to make sure they have enough data to do that. Lastly, I want to look at the term medical exam. That makes it sound like there's pass or fail. In fact, it's not a medical exam, it's a medical history interview. All you're doing is a data transfer. You're going to take your entire medical history and disclose it to the insurance company. And the better you do that, again, the better premiums you'll get and the better coverage that you'll get. So it's not an exam, it's disclosure. Now, but way back in the old days, in the 80s or so, they actually did have no medical exam policies. They were called guaranteed issue. Everybody got the coverage. There was no questions, no qualifications other than pay your premiums. But because they're accepting everybody, as you can imagine, the amount of coverage was limited to like $25,000. There was really no death benefit available in the first 2 years, so you're paying premiums without really any coverage. And the premiums were insanely expensive, as they had to be, because they're covering people like you who are in regular health with people who are really not insurable. Now, step forward to the 90s or so, early 2000s, and the industry brought out a second type of policy called a simplified issue. Now, there's some variations and gray areas around this, but this is what it basically boils down to. Simplified issue policies don't take you through the underwriting process on their end. They have you do the underwriting. They ask you a series of 15 or 20 questions that are simply yes or no. If you answer them all no, you qualify for the insurance. If you answer one of them yes, then you don't qualify. Now, these policies, of course, let you self-select whether or not you qualify for the coverage, and that's bad from a couple of factors. First of all, it lets in people who are a lot less insurable than you are, which means the rates have to go up. These policies, at their core, are very expensive types of insurance, typically twice the premium of a fully underwritten policy. Secondly, since you're probably not an underwriter, what can happen and does happen is that you can answer the question incorrectly. You answer no when it's actually yes, but in your best opinion, it's no. And when do we find out that the answer is yes? After you pass away and they review your application and say that question was answered incorrectly. You never actually had the coverage in place because you never qualified for it, and we're going to deny the claim. Any experienced advisor will tell you they've run into situations like this. I certainly have, where it's been my best opinion and the consumer's best opinion that the answer to one of these questions is no, but the insurance company's answer to that question is actually yes. So the self-underwriting that are done in simplified issue policies can be very dangerous because they can result in your claim being denied. Now, a fully underwritten policy lets the insurance company look at your entire medical history and again slot you into the best rates that you can get. There's 3 general levels, 2 that are always done, and occasionally the 3rd level. So the first level is just the application. It's the paperwork that says what's your name and address, who's the beneficiary, how much coverage are you getting. Very straightforward. The second level is a medical history questionnaire. Again, it's not an exam, it's data. And what the insurance company will do is they'll have an underwriter, forgive me, not an underwriter, a paramedical person contact you to ask you, typically on the phone, to ask you 20 or 25 questions that are designed to pull out your entire medical history from you. So they're just going to say, tell me everything about your eyes, your ears, your nose, your innards, your skin, and so on. Now, when you do these questions, they're going to ask you the question. The first thing is, it's very important to disclose everything, no matter how inconsequential or irrelevant that you think it is. Secondly, if you do have a condition that you disclose, you should disclose a variety of things about the condition. You should disclose any symptoms you had, any tests you had, any diagnosis you had, any treatment, and resolution. So take it right from the beginning right through to the end. I had these symptoms and I went to the doctor and the doctor did these tests. As a result of those tests, they diagnosed me with this, they gave me this treatment, and 6 months later, I haven't had any further symptoms. So that's how you answer the questions. Secondly, and this is important, answer the questions that they asked, not the questions that you think they asked. Now, I know it sounds absurd when I say that, but let me give you an example. So I'm going to play paramedical person. I've called you on the phone, and here's your first question. Have you ever had any tests, investigations, injury, treatment, or surgery on your eyes? Now think about that. What's your answer? And most people's response will be, no, my eyes are fine. And that's the wrong answer because you just answered the question that you thought I asked, which was, are your eyes fine? Not the question I actually asked, which was, have you ever had any tests, investigations, injury, treatment, or surgery on your eyes? So the answer for almost everybody to that question is going to be yes, not no, but yes. And even if you haven't had any of those last four things, most people have had tests. So a correct answer would not be no, my eyes are fine. A correct answer would perhaps be more along the lines of yes, I get my eyes tested every couple of years and my eyes are fine. Or yes, I get my eyes tested every couple of years and I wear corrective lenses or I wear glasses. That's a much more correct answer. Now, one of the cool things that falls out of this level of disclosure is that when an underwriter is trying to get rid of risk, sometimes they're kind of on the edge. They have the option to say they're going to charge you this rate or this rate. And the difference will often be how comfortable they are with your level of disclosure. And if they look at it and go, you know, we've got a condition here that I'm reasonably comfortable with, but it's kind of on the edge, I should probably charge you the higher rates, versus they look at your application and say, gee, I've nailed everything. This person has left no stone unturned. I got them nailed down. I can give them the better rates, and they will. So there are absolutely cases where you will get better premiums over this full disclosure than if you try and limit the disclosure. Now, the second thing, so the paramedical person calls you, you go through the medical questions, disclose fully. On larger coverage amounts and older ages, there is sometimes a third level. So the first two levels are just the application paperwork. The second level is the questionnaire that you do on the phone. And occasionally there's a third level, which is a blood and a urine test. Now the blood and urine test is done in your home. They'll send a paramedical person out to your home. You're going to pee in a cup and they're going to draw a couple vials of blood and it'll take 10 minutes and you're done. It's really not that erroneous. Now, there's another benefit that falls out of this. Again, now the underwriter's got full information. They're going to give you the best rates that they can, but we get another huge benefit out of this. If you recall from our options video, there are two ways a life insurance company can deny a claim. And we've just closed the last of them. So if you pass away, the insurance company pulls up your paperwork and says, we've got $1 million check for you, except for two reasons. Suicide in the first 2 years, it wasn't that. Did you fail to disclose something when you did your application? And in your case now, the answer will be absolutely not. They're going to look at it and say, this client even told us about eye exams, and almost nobody tells us about eye exams. Therefore, they left nothing undisclosed, and there's no third loophole. They will pay your premiums, or forgive me, your death benefit, typically within days and generally less than a week. So this level of disclosure also lets you sleep well at night knowing that if you do pass away, the insurance company can't deny your claim because they don't have any opportunity to do so. So again, just in summary, be careful. There are simplified issue policies and variations around that are either twice the price of a fully underwritten product, or they're going to chop out the renewable and convertible feature, or you do a quick application on the internet, You do a 20-minute phone call with a paramed person and fully disclose everything. And at that point, you get a full-featured life insurance policy at the cheapest possible rates. So that's it. Congratulations for making it through the entirety of the course. You should have everything you know now to make an educated decision on the amount of coverage you need, the type, and then determine how to take a medical exam. Last thing is, if I've left anything untouched or you have any questions, please feel welcome to reach out to me. My email is on the website, as is my phone number. It's a toll-free phone call. Go ahead and give me a call. I'm happy to assist as best I can.